This is a bunch of tips and tricks for settlement building that I just came up with on the fly while doing this. And yeah, if you've ever wanted a Nuka-Cola fridge and you don't feel like buying the Nuka-Cola Creation Club content, you could always use a regular Nuka-Cola machine and stick a filing cabinet inside the door. And if you don't know how to do that, it's quite simple. You just take the filing cabinet, you put it on top of a rug, and then you want to move it down until it's just barely out of the rug's reach, where you can still move it around. Then you want to open this up, so you can just eyeball this. You stick it in, you pull it around a little bit until you get it to where I have stick drift right now, so it's kind of harder for me. Every time I go right, it goes left. But if you put it in at just the right angle and depth, you can see that the fan blades from the back of the fridge actually go through the filing cabinet because they stick out. They aren't a PNG attached to the wall. They aren't just like a sticker on there. They're an actual thing that sticks out from it. So you could just put a filing cabinet inside of it, and it works fine. Now, if you remove the mat, let me quick
Can't wait
save
to get out of this goddamn heat.
Okay. If you remove this, that'll fall down and it'll still work, but you'll see that it gets a little ugly right there, which is why I did this, where I just took this and I covered it. I just covered that mat or rug on the ground with this big old floor mat. You can use any carpet or mat that you want, but that's the one I used. So yeah, easy Nuka-Cola fridge without the Creation Club content that you have to pay for. Finding the Nuka-Cola machine is in decorations, miscellaneous, and then you just scroll over until you find it. There's also a milk vending machine that you can use for other drinks, and this one actually just does work like the fridge. I don't know why they couldn't make that one work the same way. And floor coverings. The rug is better than any of the other mats because it actually goes up a little bit. It's not completely flat, although you can't really tell from looking at it. And then, like I said, any floor mat big enough to cover the rug is great for this. Now, Mara, I know this one especially you need because I watched you place your guard tower and try to get it to not be hovering above the ground like it is here. You wanted it to actually be in the ground. I already showed you how to do this, but you never did it, so I'm reminding you. Hold on that post, and then you can just lower it and raise it for as high or as low as the post can go. And you can just put it all the way in the ground if you wanted to. You can actually do this post thing with anything in the game that you can build, including beds if you want a floating bed, wardrobes, the fucking bathtubs. You can even use it to put a table on top of another table to make a better looking shelf. I didn't try too hard, but you could see where I'm going with this. But I just wanted to show off my power armor. It's Hellfire arms, T45 legs, Hellfire torso, and then a T51 helmet, all matte black. That's my custom power armor, which I'm very proud of, and I think looks dope as hell. Last one, I did build this. If your settlement has like a little hill of nature or dirt or anything like that, then you can use a post to stick the building in the ground, or maybe just build it into the side, but it's probably a lot harder. And you can just put anything you want in there, build a little scenic area, put plants and stuff to make it look like it's an enclosed farm type thing. You could even swap out one of these windows for a window door, which could look good as well. Also, just build a farm outside your window, but where's the fun in that? This is building tips, and everybody knows how to do that.
You quite literally cannot tell me that this power armor isn't badass, though. I don't know why I did that.
Fully tested this yet, but I have two main ways of getting a water purifier inside of a building. and I will show you that now. Obviously, this uses the post, by the way, is take the post, lift it, and then put it right there, as close to the floor as you can get. You can even put it into the floor if you want to, but not too low, apparently. Oh, as low as you want. You could even get it look like there isn't even a cement base if you want to. And then hopefully, yep, you can just snap the other floor right in there, and boom, you have a water purifier completely inside your base. Live stream while I was halfway through this tutorial. How dare you? 10 hours. 10 hours I waited for this. Oh, that's too high. The second way that is slightly more difficult is you have to get the post barely in the ground at all, and this has to be completely on top of the ground as much as possible. Then you just pick them up together, you walk over here, and boom. Now you can just place it directly on top of the wood. Warning though, if you want to move it afterwards, you will pick up the entire building. So once you place this water purifier, it is there. It is wherever you put it, unless you completely restart the process over again. But yeah, fairly certain it works with the other two. And see, this one you also have to place in the dirt, but this one, these two have to be placed in water, which makes them really difficult and annoying. Simple, and you probably already know this. If you want a creature to live in your settlement, you have to build a beta wave emitter that's in the miscellaneous section of the cages. It requires 1 power, but what a lot of people don't realize is you only need 1, and it only needs to be active when you open the cage. Meaning if you know for fact you're not going to bring any other creatures into your base, you can either store this or scrap it, and whatever creature you already have will stay friendly. To eventually get your lunchbox started, you need to build a builder. You need to put steel into it. If you put in 150 steel, that's 50 lunchboxes, because it's 3 steel per lunchbox. And then all you have to do is go into the terminal, go to builder control, go all the way down to Vault Tech Lunchbox, select it, select the steel, even though you don't really have to. And then you just put in the steel, and it'll automatically start pumping out the lunchboxes. In goes the 150 steel, and then it'll immediately, if you see that animation, that means it's working. And then out comes lunchbox number 1 after a minute. And like I said before, if you just pick it up, it'll go into your inventory. But if you shoot it, out pops the random item. I got a noodle cup. Now, these, unfortunately, they cannot be picked up, they cannot be scrapped, and they cannot be destroyed. So the only thing you can really do about the lunchboxes is hope they don't lag your game. This I actually didn't know when I was telling you about the machine and shit. It says repair, but you can't scrap it either. But you could, I'm sure it'll despawn eventually, but you just put it on the edge of your settlement and then just shoot it outside the settlement. Or, you know, hit it with a fat man and watch it go flying. Then you'll just be able to pretend like it never existed in the first place. In this game, builder, then armor can make any armor, light, medium, or heavy. Weapon can make any weapon. Auto loom makes regular clothing like dresses and casual wear. Energy weapons, heavy weapons, ammunition, explosives, pyrotechnics like flamethrower and shit. And then food, in case you ever have a hankering for some food. Can you make Nuka-Cola? In your settlement hooked up to 1 terminal, which is actually a really good thing to do. But because you actually have the Vault Tech DLC, if you go to miscellaneous and you get the Vault Tech population management system, it works exactly the same way that the terminal does, but it has a side bonus where you can find jobs for any settlers in your settlement that have no job, obviously. I actually don't know what this does. But VIP Tracker, it gives you a quest to where you can track any of your companions that are on the list. As you can see, Preston is the only one I don't have being located at the moment. And Dan's won't be on this list at all in a couple of hours because I'm going to cut his head off at Victorium, motherfuckers. All machinery and all settlements can be controlled by this one terminal brought in from the Vault Tech DLC. And no, you cannot make Nuka-Cola. That is a shame. The lunchboxes can spit out every type of Nuka-Cola though, so that is good. About spotlights, they work as they should. They'll lock onto enemies and like tell everybody in the settlement, hey, go kill that motherfucker. You'll get the wall-mounted fucking spotlight when you finish the Automatron DLC, but you have to go find the blueprints in the Mechanist base, which they aren't that hard to find. They're just in a back room, and I'll probably be in the live stream telling you where to go if I'm awake. But the unfortunate thing that I was talking about in the beginning is after about 12 in-game hours, the spotlights turn off, and the only way to turn them back on is by picking them up and placing them again. And it just really sucks. Bathtub that floats. Now it's actually a floating bathtub. Gotta be a little careful of is these things right here. Like, you touch them, nothing happens, but if you shoot them with, oh, well, not this gun, I guess, but if you shoot them with, like, an RPG or a minigun, they do have hidden health bars, and as soon as that health runs out, they will break off and fall over like this one did, and then they will be able to be pushed around, and they will eventually despawn. I think this one actually comes knocked over, though. They can eventually... Oh, like this one. This one broke off, and it'll eventually despawn. But it is now forever just chilling. So you can lose these little posts. Weapon armor, or like weapon racks for the walls. You have the long ones for the long arms, the melee weapons, and then short ones for the unarmed weapons and the pistols. Some weapons cannot go on these at all. For example, the water gun from Nuka World, unfortunately, can't go on any of these, and I'm very upset about it. But a little tip for these is sometimes you'll have a weapon that fits on the long one, but it only goes from like here to here. Like, you can put knives and switchblades on this because they're melee weapons, not unarmed weapons, even though they're super short. And what you could do about that is once you put the hang on, I'm saying this backwards. Put a short one there, put like a pistol or something else on it, and then put the long one inside of it, and then you'll have the short one there, long one here. And it actually does work if you layer them immediately. But you could put a small weapon in here and then a technically long weapon in this. And if it doesn't collide with the short weapon, then it looks 10 times better. Armor stands, unfortunately, although they can be really close on this side, they have to be real far away if you place them on the right side of each other. So anytime you're building armor stands, male or female versions, you want to start from the right side of the building and then go left with them. Otherwise, you'll have to place them really far away. Like enough where you could have like put in another mannequin in the middle. If I could... Oh. Floating corn, bitch. It's been done. I did it. I made floating corn. Kate, are you proud of me? Oh yeah, you can put Pit Boys on Settlers if you start the Vault 81 DLC. You'll get Pit Boys from a little brown crate, and they refresh daily, so you can always get more. You can't put them on armor stands, but if you put it on a settler, all you have to do is give it to them, they'll immediately equip it, and then you can never take it back from them.
It's also found in the miscellaneous item slot in your inventory and not the apparel, because it's not an item that can be equipped, it's just an item that you give them and then it appears on them, technically.